Hi guys, this is the video for Tuesday, May 5th. You have a this is history. A history test tomorrow, and I want to make sure that you have all of your study guide stuff right. So you had a study guide on 229 and 230, which I already went over with you. I want you to study that, but then I also want to go over the answers from 237 and 238 with you as well. Okay, so tensions through the U.S. and the Soviet Union from 1940s to 1980s, that is called the Cold War. Allowed ships to travel from the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes is the St. Lawrence Seaway. 1956 Act of Congress that authorized the building of major interstate highway system across the U.S. is the Federal Aid Highway Act. The organization responsible for America's activity in space is NASA, NASA. Okay. The lowest possible pay a worker can make per hour is minimum wage. Anti-segregation legislation that was going through the lawmaking process when Kennedy was assassinated was the Civil Rights Bill. And an organization formed in 1945 for the purpose of keeping peace is called the United Nations. Eisenhower was president when Alaska and Hawaii were admitted to the Union. Most of the soldiers that the United Nations sent to fight communism in the Korean War were Americans. Most of the soldiers. Did I say that right? The soldiers, they're American soldiers. The space race that was one way for the US and the Soviet Union to fight was during the Cold War. Americans were shocked as they watched the announcement that President Kennedy had been killed in the parade in Dallas. JFK, John F. Kennedy, was the youngest man to be elected president of the United States. Nikita Khrushchev ordered a wall to be built between East and West Berlin. Martin Luther King led protests in Birmingham, Alabama, because the city had segregation laws. Lyndon Baines Johnson was sworn in as president after Kennedy was assassinated. Okay, true and false. Eisenhower believed that the open skies policy would ease the tensions of the Cold War. The first satellite sent into space was launched by the Soviet Union. That's true. The words "In God We Trust," not "In God We Trust," but "Under God," were added to the pledge to the American flag when Eisenhower was president. During the 1950s, TV became a part of American culture. Christianity was generally accepted and popular in the 1950s. Okay, why did Eisenhower send military advisors to help train the South Vietnamese army? The United States had committed itself to side with countries that were fighting communism. Eisenhower did not want to send American soldiers to Vietnam and decided to send military advisors instead. What concern did Christians develop about rock and roll music? They worried about how it would affect people's attitudes and morals. And you know what, guys? The music you listen to does affect your attitude and does affect your morals. If you want to have a good day, listen to some good music, some good positive music, some good Christian music. Explain the Cuban Missile Crisis. Soviet Union placed missiles in Cuba. The missiles could attack and start a war with the U.S. President Kennedy ordered a blockade of Cuba until the missiles were removed. Okay, that is your study guide. Remember, I want you to also study pages 229 and 230. You have your test tomorrow. You only have one more test after this, so it's important for you to do a good job, okay? A good way to study might be to watch that other video. Watch this video again. Make sure you know the answers to those questions. If you can watch the video and answer the questions before I give the answers, that would be a good sign that you're ready, okay? I hope to see you guys this week at your houses, some of you. Miss you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.